Bootstrap has this cool carousel thing built in too. Now, there are a lot of arguments against using carousels or sliders for a variety of different reasons. I won't get into those. We'll just assume that you have a good reason and want to use the carousel in your project. What I want to do is to put this carousel in place of my header image. We'll change the way the title and the tagline displays too, so they will just display on one line. First, I will get my JavaScript. So I go to the Customize Bootstrap page, and I'm just going to download the Carousel plugin since this is a child theme and the other components will already be in queued. For my child theme to be seen by WordPress, I need to create a style.css. This style sheet is just going to import the style sheet from Museum Core and set that to be the parent theme and the template parameter in the theme header. Now I'm going to copy my header.php from my parent theme and paste it into my child theme. Since we're not going to have a header image, I'm not going to worry about any of this header image stuff. Then I'm going to clear out all the HTML and PHP that deals with header images. Later, I'll remove support for header images in the functions.php. Now I've got the header with just the nav above and the nav below the H group. Next, I'll put the tagline on the same line as the site title with the Bootstrap small styles. I've got everything set up to add my carousel, but before I do that, I'm going to create a functions.php so I can load in the JavaScript and remove the theme support for custom headers. First, I create a new functions.php. I'm creating a new function hooked to init to remove theme support for the custom header. That's really all I need to do there. Now the header won't display as an option in the customizer or in the admin. Then I'm creating a new function hooked to WP-enqueue scripts to enqueue the carousel JavaScript. Now I can deal with writing the code that will display the carousel. The way that I'm going to handle this is if the post is sticky and it has a featured image, we'll use that featured image in the carousel. This means doing a loop in the header. First, because I just want to get sticky posts, I'm going to load those. Posts that are sticky are saved in the options table. So to get an array of those posts, we need to use getOptionStickyPosts. Now I can set up my arguments for the new WP query object. I want the posts to be in this list of sticky posts that I'm passing. Sticky posts always put themselves at the top of any list. Since I'm already getting those sticky posts, I don't want to possibly get weird side effects by using the sticky post behavior, so I'm going to ignore sticky posts. This disregards the sticky setting, which we don't need anyway, because we've already said that we're only pulling from the specific list of posts, which have already been marked as sticky. Now I'm going to set a count. Like the tabs, this is to figure out which item needs to be the active one, so we'll increment at the end of the while loop. I'm ready to start my custom loop. This is done by creating a new variable and loading a new WP query instance with our arguments into it. Now my loop will look a little different. If my custom loop has posts, we're first going to set up the outer part of the carousel. Then I can start the while loop, but again, we're running this havePost method on the carousel query object. And while there are posts, we'll set up the post data with the post. This is going to be the actual carousel item. It starts off with a div for the class of item. Since one of the carousel items needs to be active, I'm checking my counter. If it's 0, that's the active item, and I'll echo active into the class. Otherwise, I'll check for a post thumbnail. Now, if there is one, I'm going to use that, and I'm passing the dimensions to the post thumbnail. If I were doing this on a live site or theme, I'd probably prefer to create an image size and call that in specifically, but this is just a quick example. If there is no post thumbnail, I'm going to use a placeholder image that I'm using from the hold service, which pulls in a random image from found. I'm also going to add a caption. So I open my carousel caption div, start with the heading, which is the post title, and I'm going to have a caption body of the post excerpt. However, Since excerpts can get pretty long, which doesn't look good at lower resolutions, we're going to hide the excerpt on phones and tablets. Then I close out my divs, increment my counter, and end my while loop. Before ending my if statement, I'm adding in the carousel controls. Now, even though I'm not actually using glyph icons, I need to add the glyph icon class to my icons, which also have a chevron left and right. This is because in the carousel, Bootstrap adds specific positioning styles to the glyph icon chevron left and glyph icon chevron right elements. After calling in my controls, I close my carousel div and end my if statement. Before calling this done, I want to run wp reset query, so when the loop runs again, it starts over from the beginning, rather than possibly being affected by my custom loop. Now I've got a child theme that replaces the old header image with a Bootstrap carousel that needed very little customization to make it happen.